second D&D campaign stream. Woo!
Yay!
Merrick, can I get a quick volume check, please? I know you're eating.
Fork.
Okay. And then Skyrim music. Perfect. So, welcome to the D&D streams. It's mostly just going to be a stream where we're talking, and I might display something at some point. The layout is subject to change. Don't get used to it. First thing I need to do is I need to put the rodents on screen because this is a rat campaign. Paste. There we go.
Rats, we are the rats.
We are the rats.
They are the rats, yes.
And
Low
Tia
key.
is the giant
Gonna
rat
make
that
a
makes
D&D
all the
with-
rules.
Michael, it's your birthday today.
Alright, look,
Michael,
don't break
it's
the
your
first two
birthday.
rules. Alright. Bug Fighter, I'm low-key gonna make a D&D character while watching this, and NBC getting used to it. I said, don't get used to it. Another thing you should get used to for these campaign streams is I'm probably not going to be responding to pop-ups in text vocally. I'll just be typing in chat when it's necessary to reply to somebody. So please don't take it the wrong way. I know as someone
How dare.
inspired, how could we do this? I know, really. How could we inspire somebody?
Oh no, it's okay. It'll get worse.
Hi, Queenie.
Also, hi, Queenie.
Okay, I take it wrong. Alright, so to start, a little bit of overview. This campaign is going to be a little dark, a little on the serious end. We are doing a Warhammer-inspired Dungeons & Dragons campaign. Taking elements from Warhammer, combining it with the D&D elements to make a Warhammer-themed story. Specifically Warhammer Fantasy, not 40k. Perfect. Have in the background while I'm doing Destiny chores. Good.
Yay!
Alright, so I guess I could read the overview I have for this campaign. Whatever you do, if you are aware of the events in Warhammer, please don't spoil anything for my lovely players. They are here to suffer. You are going on my Bluetooth speaker. Just the middle of the night, all of a sudden, rocks fall. You wake up.
Wormhammer. That's a good one.
So we do have some custom rules that'll be worth going over, at least some of them, for our players. Let me skim them real quick and see if there's any that will really affect the experience of listening. Because I don't think there are. But if there are, I want to make sure that they're noted. Fun trumps rules, of course. Party gets a mulligan, and we'll agree to use it as a group. And I added some special role requirements, but outside that, there's nothing that'll super affect the listening experience. Wormhammer stealing that. Oh, god damn it. Oh my god. Alright. Those are fine. The only other difference is a stealth roll mechanic, which says you must actually be hidden to be hidden. You can't just roll and say you're hidden.
Yeah, I'm standing out in the middle of nowhere. My stealth is high enough, I can just roll and be hidden. No. No.
Outside that, there isn't a good visual descriptor for the city you're starting in. So I'm going to give you guys some brief background on the city, and starting at this point, I'm going to try to not respond to chat actively. Please don't take it the wrong way. I love all of
Don't
you.
take it and shove it up your ass.
No! Alright. So despite whatever brought you here to the city of Kavzar, This is the kingdom you'll be starting with. It is a city that lie both above and below the earth, keeping in the nature of the populace that dwells there. The above ground layer is full of humans. There's an occasional elf, it's rare. There's some occasional dragonborn, again, rare. And the underside of the city is dwarves. Dwarves help to contribute to like the architecture of the city, and the humans kind of do like all the mercantile stuff.
Sorry,
No.
what did you say the name was again?
Kavzar, Kavzar. Some say it is the oldest city in Talea. And I will note that for you, Shooty, since you did play some of this, I did change some of the locations. I think initially this one was called the Valahim. So if you have notes you're reusing, corrections.
How dare you change stuff up to freshen things.
Please don't use sound things, they don't work. I have them off. Actually, I'm gonna go and disable those so that they're not getting me. Ah! Please don't.
Not in Discord, please.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna turn off cat
Mentioned
sounds.
it once, so
I'm
I
turning
figured I
off
needed to do it
Meowdy-Doo.
once.
Turning off Cookie.
Should have done Gaston though.
living-
For that.
Oh my god, guys.
Sorry.
We are children.
I've noticed. I'm gonna leave Treat on, but it might take me a bit to get to them. Kick, Cardboard I'll leave on. We are not running ad time in this, and I'm not doing Monster Hunter in this. Okay. They're updated now. Yes, I'll drink water.
Good.
Why is crowd control? You know what? Something was gonna be wrong. You guys are gaining crowd control points now.
Whatever.
Streamlabs set as overlay. Replace. Alright, you might have to refresh, but it's off.
No, you should reward people that come into this chat with crowd control points so that when the next Stardew Valley comes up, you
You know what? Crowd control Dungeons and Dragons replace my players' roles.
No!
Getting back on topic.
Thank you. It's the oldest city in Talea. Sorry, it's rumored to be the oldest city in the world. It's the oldest city in Talea, but rumored to be the oldest in the world. Built by an older and more skilled set of hands. The dwarves rule the halls deep below the ground, wrestle away the fruits of the rock with their day-long toil, while the humans tend to the fields of swaying corn that surround the city with a patchwork blanket of gold. The sun smiles on this kingdom, and it brings peace to all, and everyone is relatively happy in the day-to-day grind. A few generations back, the men of the city wished to give praise to their gods for their good fortune. A man-made structure to match the god's spire, which has always loomed over the great city and lands of this region. To this day, they continue to build this cathedral. It stands in the center of town, a colossal hall, which is planned to be topped with a single cloud-piercing tower. A tower so tall that it touches the heart of the heavens. And with the help of the Longbeards, construction began in earnest on this tower several generations ago. Weeks became months, months became years, and still the humans in the city labored on this massive construction project. They grew old and gray working on this immaculate temple, their sons continuing the work through the summer, the sun, the winter, and the rain. And after many generations, the majority of this this cathedral is now done. All that's left to do is to top the grand spire. In recent months, it has become near impossible to continue work on this tower and has come to a screeching halt. It's too costly and too risky to lift stones to the top, and people wonder if the tower was just too tall to begin with and if they should abandon the project.
Oh boy. Tower of Babel.
Pretty much. Still, even with this aside, the city is peaceful and plentiful as ever. And my lovely players, you'll find yourself at the local Kavzar Adventurers Guild. I'm going to have each of you make a d6 roll. Whoever rolls lowest goes first.
2.
Oh, we do that here.
5.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, it's up to that. Oh, well, that's not why. Oh, whoops. Why didn't that work?
Dice pot might be broken.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the weird part is it worked when I rolled health, like, last week.
I'll link you to what I'm using, Tog.
Yeah, whatever. It's not important. I'll just... Yeah, thank you.
Okay. That is kind of weird. Maybe she's broken at the moment.
Oh, I have to click roll. Do it. That's one. Start. Okay, 2.
Okay. So, our characters will be, to start, Zephyr Fane, played by Merrick, who is a human. Why don't you give everyone a brief description of your character?
Zephyr Fane is a sellsword from the Glassy Wastes, and he's staying in town. He's been staying in town over the last year for work and to visit his mother and sister. And he wields a falchion that was apparently his deceased father's, which he doesn't know.
All right. And Tog.
My character is Dahak. He's a crystal dragonborn cleric of, well, the GM's character, but considering Tiamat is both his OC's name and a name of an actual god in Dungeons and Dragons and a bunch of other crap, I'm just going to be referring to his god as Tia the entire time to make things clearer.
I think it makes it worse.
Pick your poison. I can call her Tiamat, and we can just address in setting that yes, there are multiple dragon gods named Tiamat, or I can call her Tia. Like, Maddie seems way, way too formal.
Maddie. I hate it.
Every single time Tia gets uttered, the actual Tiamat in Avernus gets a wrinkle over her eyebrow.
Why are they talking about this tiny bitch instead of me?
Why are they so formal with me? They don't even know me.
Alright.
Why are they talking about her? Why is she good? What the fuck? Who named her Tiamat? I need to kill somebody.
You two share...
Meanwhile, Dahak is pissed off because the guy that worships Tiamat is named Dahak.
So, the guild's hall, the room system is broken, kind of similar to a college dorm. You guys have a main hallway. On the hallway, there are 4 sets of doors for, your individual party members. Right now, you guys don't have a 4th member, and that's fine. maybe later on down the line, or NPC room.
Probably later on.
You
down the
two
We
line.
share
might
the
without-
rooms on the back end of the hall across from one another. Both of you kind of start stirring as the morning sunlight comes through the back side of the building, peering in. Whether you are up stretching, just getting out of bed, perhaps sharpening and cleaning your weapons for the apparent quest that has been assigned to you today. You wake up, looking around your small room. You have a bed, a desk, a dresser, a gear cabinet, a window, and a small shelf full of basic provisions and medical equipment. Any
I don't get it.
personal
I don't get it. Why would a healer have medical equipment in their room?
It's not so much that it's there for like your personal use. Like if you end up falling ill, it's there as like emergency equipment,
Gotcha.
so they can bring you straight to your room and take care of you.
I get
Like a
it.
first
I was
aid
just being a
kit.
smartass.
Where's my introduction?
It's not your turn yet. All right, Merrick, since you finished your roll first, I'll let you take the initial start. So you wake up. The sun is shining in, awakening you to this beautiful day. What's the first thing you do with your morning?
I get dressed and get ready to go downstairs to eat.
All right, strapping on your outfit, your standard normal morning routine, clasping your sword to your side, straightening your hair, dusting off your boots, getting up, getting a little stretch in the morning light as it shines in through your window. You head toward your door, and just outside the window, standing next to your door, you can hear the bustling streets outside, the early morning merchants moving their stock in and out of the city for the shopping frenzy that happens mid-morning. People getting ready for the night shifts and getting all their groceries done and etc. Stepping outside into the hall, you can see that none of your other companions are currently out of their room, though you can hear one of them stirring. As for context, you guys all are familiar with each other, not like intimately, but you work together. Basic, we just started the job together attitude.
Right.
And you make your way downstairs, stepping onto the first set of stairs. Light smoke, the smell of fried meats and eggs wafts upstairs to you. You can hear the general laughter and chit-chatting of the early morning bar. Tog, how about you?
Dahak yawns a bit, stretches, puts on his vestments, and then begins preparing spells.
All right. You'll spend some time preparing your spells.
Yeah.
I will note you also hear the bustling street sounds. Since you're chilling in your room for a bit, you may or may not pick up more conversation if you choose to listen into it. Would you like to?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Give me a perception check.
20... 22... Let me double check. That's the number. 22.
All right. You're very easily able to just tune into the sounds of the city street. Probably something you do pretty often as you prepare your spells and skills in the morning. You hear the usual sounds of people calling out what to do with merchandise. The guards genuinely helping move people about the streets. The casual good mornings and hellos from familiar voices that you just can't quite place the face of. And oddly, there is a new sound this morning. You hear someone yelling around the street, screaming about doom and cannibals, before the guards quickly shoo them.
He immediately frowns at that and pauses. Is there a window he can stick
Yes.
his head out of to try and see who said that?
Yes, there is.
He does that then.
You stick your head out the window to see some very raggedy-looking old man. Do I tell you, they're going to eat us alive. Get your children, flee. Stop poking me with that stick. This is when the guard starts to shoo him out and says, if you keep yelling at people, I'm going to have you arrested for disturbing the peace. Doom!
It scored 8, whatever you had the old man say.
Do.
Ah,
Bruh. After a while, it returns back to the normal street sounds. As a religious figure, you can't help but pay it some worry, but at the same time, it's probably just some crazy old man in the street.
yeah, no, like, upon seeing that scene play out, he frowns, or as close to a frown as he can manage, and then goes back to what he was doing.
Alright. Merrick, you get downstairs. You see the open lobby of a mixture of things. It's all kind of open floor plan. Just some archways in between each. From your current vantage point, you can see other hallways leading to other people's rooms. Ahead of you, you see a large dining lounge that has a handful of people in it. This hall specifically, like the building itself, is devoted specifically to guild patrons. So there's not really a lot of the common street people in this room. Being said, you can find some casual walk-bys out in the bar room in the front end of the building with the guild maid at the counter. You are all familiar with her by name. Her name is Leah. She's a plump little gnomish woman. She attends to most of the adventuring side of the job, while her husband mans coffers and wages and city business. You don't really interact with him too much. She is a gnome, short brown hair, currently twiddling her pen, occasionally nibbling on the end, signing paperwork. She seems to have a large stack going already. The dining room is, I guess, I got a couple people in it eating. There is Matilda, the server, currently going around asking what people want. You can see that she's also in the process of delivering some food while tending to another table. A little past that on the left, you've got some adventurers that seem like they're gearing up to set out for the day. And some merchants in between them also talking, asking them for various things while they're out and about. I believe you said you were heading to get some food, yes?
Yes.
Where do you sit? You have several large tables you could sit at, small individual tables, couples tables, and of course there's a little breakfast bar.
I find a spot near those merchants and see if I can pick up anything they're saying.
All right, you take a seat down. As soon as you sit down, oh my god, I already lost her name. What the hell is wrong with me?
Matilda?
Matilda. I don't know why I was gonna say Miranda. I was like, wait, what? Matilda comes over. She asks what you'd like real quick. Normal breakfast and eggs. Are you going for something a little lighter today?
Oh, something a little lighter today.
She gives you a nod and a wink, and she makes her way out. You rest and take in the morning air. Well, over listening to the merchants, talking to the adventurers, why don't you give me a perception check?
I roll a d20 for that, right?
Yep, and then you'll
Yes.
add your perception to it.
15, and with my perception, that's 17.
Okay, so you'll give me the 17. You listen in for a bit. At first, it just sounds like they're kind of berating them, saying, make sure you don't forget the things I asked for. I need an extra pound of mussels. There's been a shortage of them in the city. See what you can get. There's also some concern from him that, a bear has been active in the East Forest, causing some trouble, and the adventurers should be wary of it. It seems in general like they're going on a longer mission out in the east direction, and he's just giving them a bunch of general tips. Not to eat the mushrooms, stay away from the bear, see if you can't get mussels. They're rare this time of year. The merchant himself seems to be a bare-skinned human, black hair, chewing on the end of a pipe. You don't really recognize him. You've seen him around before. He seems to request the help of adventurers fairly often. While you're listening, just kind of relaxing over the edge of the seat, Matilda brings your breakfast out. She brought you a over easy egg and some dwarvish bread, and a cup of rose tea. She highly recommends you dip the tea, or the bread in your tea. And if there's anything else you need, please give me a call. She bows and she takes her leave, leaving you to your breakfast. Ms. May. Shooty. I'll give you the preference of, are you in the city or are you outside the city?
It's early enough, so I'd probably be outside the city.
All right.
Tell me what time of day is it? Is it
6, 7.
Yeah, I'd definitely be out.
You're outside with your ferret, correct?
Weasel? How dare you call Tarragon a mere ferret?
My apologies. You're currently sitting on the edge of a stump, staring out over the open landscape of rolling corn and wheat as the sun cresses the mountainside. Tarragon is nudging your face. They seem to be hungry.
I'm gonna rip one of my rations in half and hand him one while I snack on the other.
He bites down on it and then lays across your legs. And you just hear him chewing.
For edification of our viewers, the weasel is a giant weasel, yes?
Yes. It is about 4.5 feet long. It is a foofy pool noodle.
It is considered a medium beast, and it is the most fluffiest, adorable thing ever.
So it's actually a giant chinchilla then.
A big foofer.
A giant furry snake.
I said it's a fur noodle.
Yeah.
Yes, it seems content to lay across your legs as it eats. Despite the fact that you know you need to go into town today to pick up work, it seems to be trying to stretch out and get comfy.
I'm gonna give Tarragon like a couple more minutes basking in the sunrise. We were out here all night just to catch it, so as soon as like the sun gets a little bit more overhead, we're gonna start heading back into town.
All right. You give it the few minutes, and it goes to sleep, laying across your legs.
Being a pool noodle, I wrap it around my shoulders and carry it back into town.
All right. I'm gonna see real quick. It does not wake up from this. It stays asleep, and as you make your way into the town, the guards are commenting on your new weasel scarf.
Oh, thank you. I just got him a couple of days ago. I'm gonna keep the, what is it, Tarragon's permit close to hand, just in case he wakes up, as I walk in the town further.
All right. You make your way into the city. Just as you're passing by the gates, this scrawny-looking human throws himself at your foot, at your feet. Doom! The doom of this city! Listen to me, Blackskin. You do not know what is out here. They stare at us in the dark. The scratching, the clawing, the
I stare at the
gnawing.
dilated gaze and tell him that my skin isn't that black. Fucking douche. And just walk around him.
As this man has disturbed you, the weasel, kind of just laying over you, tries to roll around, kind of doing like a spiral, trying to get his feet on your shoulders. He just kind of
Bruh.
looks down at him. Then he pokes his wet nose into your cheek.
He's earned scritches under the chin.
You reach up to scratch his chin, and he nibbles on your fingertip.
Or it's
Certainly
gonna
knows
suck when that thing dies.
Certainly going to. Yeah, I agree. And he certainly distracted me over that fucking terrible doomsayer.
You walk into the city, and slowly, as you make your way through, the doomsayer fades out into the normal sounds of traffic. Because you've had recent jobs in the city, and you're one of the first people in the guild that get brought up with animal issues, you're acutely aware of an issue that's been affecting the city en masse lately. Despite being the height of summer, and not really the time that they're out and about, the city has a large abundance of rodents, rats and mice, scurry about the city's streets. You see one almost on every corner. Other than
Because
that, it's like any
because I'm
other day.
aware that they have a chance to spread diseases, right?
Mhm.
I would like to imagine that whenever I'm on my walk, I have Tarragon just snatch up as many rice as rats as we can.
Well, this is the
as we
first
walk
day
in
you've
Garden
had
Guild.
him.
First day I've had them. Oh,
Well, I mean, maybe like the second, but this is definitely the first time he's been in the city. He's now awake and paying attention to the sights.
you know what? In the forest, I would have him have free range over the smaller rodents like the squirrels and, mice and birds and stuff. I'm gonna give him free range here. Plus, it's a public service to clean up the city.
He looks at you. He looks at a rat. He looks at you. He looks at the rat.
I click my tongue against my teeth a couple of times and gesture my nose towards it.
Animal handling
Towards the
check.
rat. Animal handling?
Yep.
11.
All right. He kind of gives you a rub against the face and spirals his way down your leg. heading toward the rat. Before he's able to reach it, he gets stopped by a large group of children that all seem to be intent on petting the fuzzy pool noodle. He immediately scurries back to you as the kids run around to surround you. Parents look at you from a distance and are kind of concerned.
With a little bit of a concern across my face as well, I kind of just, bewilderingly say, "All right, calm down."
I want to pet it.
I crouch down so that I'm their level, and I give them permission to pet Tarragon for a moment. I tell them that he's a bit ornery, seeing as it's his first time around other people than me, so please be gentle.
The first girl kind of comes up meekly as Tarragon sniffs her hand. Gentle rubs. She runs away all happy. Second kid comes up. Slightly larger boy. Pap, 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 pap.
After the third pap, I grab the kid's wrist and tell him gentle.
That hurt my wrist.
Well, you're hurting my Tarragon.
What's a tarragon?
The thing you're papping roughly.
That's a noodle. He rubs his wrist and walks away. Third girl just stares at it. Unblinkingly.
Tarragon and this girl is just falling into this staring contest.
Girl walks away slowly. You look up to see that the rat that you sent him after has disappeared.
Alright. Well, with a sigh, I kind of just stand back up and wave the kids goodbye.
You can see that the larger boy has gone over to his mother and is whining.
Well, time to draw my hood and quickly get to the guild.
Making your way to the guild, you open the door. Looking inside, you can see the normal traffic. Leah greets you as you enter, her nose deep in paperwork. You can see some merchants, and you can see your companion Zephyr sitting down eating some dwarvish bread. Where do you go?
I approach Zephyr, but don't sit down at the table yet. I put my hand, framing my fingers against the table, and I tell him that that bread is certainly really dense for breakfast.
What was the waitress's name again?
Matilda.
Right. Well, Matilda highly recommended dunking it in my tea, and it's done a wonderful job of softening it up.
I wouldn't doubt it. Saturating it with any kind of liquid would make any stone soft.
I was just gonna kind of let that hang there and see how long it took for someone to mention it, but I'm glad you went right at it. I'm gonna cut away for just a moment. Tog.
Yeah.
Dahak has now taken the time to collate his spells, and there's no more disturbances in the morning street traffic.
Alright. In that case, he goes outside to... Or not outside. He goes to the mess hall and gets breakfast.
You
Sits down with the other two since they're already there.
Okay. You make your way downstairs. As described before, early morning. Some more people are now trickling into the breakfast hall, coming out of their rooms. Some of them groggy, some of them a little less than chattative. There's some really bitchy girl with her nose in a book. She seems to be making a lot of accusations that people sleeping across the way from her were going at it all night, despite the fact that there is a checkable room policy.
Guys, hang on.
No problem. You make your way over to the table with Zephyr and Miss May. I don't remember how we pronounce your name.
Well, I recall there being a discrepancy between Leia and Eldalea. So I think my name is just either Leia May or...
Lamea, huh?
Okay, sorry.
No problem.
I
Life
mean,
happens.
yours is shortened to LIA, and
Leah.
I imagine yes. And yeah,
owner-
I guess auditorially there's no actual difference, so it's either we switch to shortening it to Edel.
May. It's fine.
I recall the last time we played it being May, so I'll just keep it at that.
Okie dokie.
But yes, you join your companions over the table, and sure enough, the waitress is over shortly to take your two's order.
I'd probably want something soft like French toast or something, and maybe like a side of fish.
All right. She takes a note and she asks if there's a particular kind of fish you'd like for your new noodle.
Salmon.
Salmon, okay. And Udahawk, your scales look beautiful this morning.
Thank you. I will take the usual, which for out of character edification is just a big ol' omelet.
Big old omelet. Any special toppings today for your omelet, or just omelet?
Salmon sounds good. I'd like some salmon too.
Salmon omelet. Got it. She makes a note and she heads off to the kitchen. Does everyone take a seat and relax?
Oh, he was already seated.
I think I'm going to groom Tarragon a little bit so that his little policies aren't dragging mud all over the place.
Yeah, so that'll be the first thing worth note about your companion this morning. She seems to have a new noodle. That and she hasn't been around for a few days. Outside that, things are normal morning.
So out of character, how often have you shown up with new animals?
Occasionally. Most of them haven't been as close as Tarragon and I have yet. Like, usually I would have, like, an injured sparrow that I found that I mend back to health, or a squirrel that's a little bit malnourished. This time is, like, the first time that I've had a medium-sized creature with me.
It bites
Okay.
your ear. Playfully, mind you.
It bites my what?
It bites your ear.
Aww.
Seeing that your hood is still up.
Yeah, seeing as I'm with familiar people, I might as well just bring my hood down.
You bring your hood down and the static from your hood makes his fur poof.
Floofy noodle.
The best noodle.
So have you named him yet?
Yeah, his name's Tarragon.
An interesting name. I would have expected something cuter.
Tarragon is exceedingly a beautiful name. Isn't that right? As I, brush the floof on the side of its neck.
He makes a small
How did you
chidrin
come-
sound.
Well, how did you come up with the name?
My mother was a herbalist here in the city, So, thought it kind of stuck, seeing as his eyes remind me of tarragon. You know, the spice.
Ah,
Despite the fact that his eyes are definitely hazel brown.
Yeah, but tarragon is also, when you powderize and pulverize it, it's brown.
Hmm.
that name sounded familiar. I was drawing a blank though.
Merrick, the merchant, Zephyr, the merchant you were listening to, makes his leave, seeming content with his. You're not really sure whether he was just giving instructions or he was scolding them. But either way, they seem to be relieved that he's leaving. And Matilda comes back with your food, dropping it off on the table, and both of you were given a cup of rose tea alongside your meal today.
Thank you, Matilda.
She gives you a nod. You guys have some time to sit down and eat, or continue chit-chatting if you'd like before anything happens. If not, I'll skip right to it.
I mean, hold on.
Man, those are some really good realistic eating sounds.
Yeah, it seems like now is a good time to eat IRL. Anyway,
I think as I finish my meal, I'm going to go over to the counter, grab my 3 centimeter iron tube crucible thermos, and ask them if they could fill it up with some brown water. You know, the coffee, but dwarvish.
Of course. We can certainly get you some brown water. It was grown straight from the ground this morning.
As a descendant of Fae, it still baffles me that you were able to get coffee beans from the soil like potatoes.
I mean, kind of, sort of. I think I've had this conversation with you before, Miss May. We take the bean and it gets planted in a hanging box, and then it grows downward. It starts like a potato, though, and what we plant is definitely cookable.
It's still very fascinating.
And if we lose it, it fertilizes the ground. It's a win-win. She takes the thermos and fills it up for you. If you don't mind, I have a quest for you guys this morning. She brandishes a small packet of papers and hands it to you, asking if you would go over it with your party before making any decisions.
I take it and nod, and then as the thermos fills, it gets returned to me, I go back over to the table, saying that Guildmarm has a quest for us.
Did you just call her Guildmarm?
Yes.
She is one, isn't she? She takes care of things.
How dare.
The Leia the Guildmarm.
Anyway, you bring it over to your party. It is a small escort quest. I understand that reference. Sorry. It's asking you to head south along the lake to the town of Toboro. You guys are doing a item collection, aka picking up a load of goods and bringing it here, and an escort quest, everyone's favorite.
You said it was the town of Cobro?
Toboro. Tobaro.
And you said that was at the south, past the lake.
Yes.
Alright.
As for some underlying information, you guys are picking up some quality ore from the south that needs to be inspected. It comes with a warning labeled not to handle it directly. And the escort is a prisoner for execution from the capital city of Aldentine. A-L-D-E...
Did you say Ovaltine?
No, he said al dente.
El
Heyo.
Grande.
I'm not even 100% sure if I pronounced it right. A-L-D-E-N-T-E. Quite the escort mission.
Escort prisoner back to Cavsar.
He is currently at the tail end of a 9-month escort. He has provided no special treatment and has already been proven guilty in a court of law.
What did he do?
Attempted public assassination and the murder of his wife. His request before being put to death was to die in his hometown.
Well, I dare say he's certainly traveled a long way.
Especially seeing as it was 3/4 of a year.
I know little about this man, but I can almost certainly guarantee that the real reason he asked to die in his hometown was so that he could live 9 months longer.
Didn't think of that. That is a pretty smart avenue. 9 months is a long way.
It's a long way and a long time that he could have escaped during.
What the report
Does it say whether he tried to escape at all?
Looking at the appended notes, you see that on several occasions he was found without his restraints on, or with food near him that wasn't given to him. However, he's never made an attempt to flee. In fact, he's barely said anything at all the entire trip.
Well, it wasn't an attempt to get away. He clearly could have.
But it sounds like there is a party that wishes his freedom.
And keep a very close eye.
Sorry, Tog, you cut out there for a few seconds.
Either way, I say we go find the man and keep a very close eye on him.
And both of those quests are in Taboro, right?
Yes.
So we could probably kill 2 birds with 1 stone, bringing the ore back and transporting him.
That's why we decided to assign it to the group rather than an individual. Leah comes over and announces, normally this would be an easy job for just Miss May. She's very used to escorting the lakeside. However, we're concerned that now that he's this close to home, he might try to escape. Or that he damages our wonderful cargo, which is also on quite a journey.
And because we have the cargo, it would make it a priority transport to get it back into the city as fast as possible. Having a lot of that precious cargo out and about, undefended, makes it a very good target.
And I'm sure I don't need to remind everyone that it is orc season. You know, they fall.
Yeah.
If you guys have any more questions, let me know. I'll be over at the counter. She drops off your thermos.
I take it and I attach it to my bandolier hip
Well, Miss May, what do you do? Do you wish to take this quest, or are you going to tell him to screw off?
Seems easy enough. The only thing that would probably dampen or hamper the the transport would be orcs or some other unforeseen encounter. We should probably prepare, grab rations, utensils just in case something happens to the ore, because it says not to handle personally. But what if the wagon were to, get the irreparably, damaged, and we would have to walk on foot the rest of the way? We would have to have protection.
Yes, I think the better way to phrase that is, if we are not meant to handle it, how are we supposed to interact with it?
The wagon's mostly probably what we use to interact with it, but if it were to be destroyed, we would immediately fail a quest. Because we can't touch it. So,
You're assuming we can't touch it directly.
well, I'm thinking that it could be fragile.
He turns to Leah. We have some questions.
She sets down her pen and makes her way back across the room. She plops her hands on the table because she's too tall to lean against it, and she tells you that she has some answers.
When we aren't meant to handle the precious cargo directly, how are we to interact with it?
I'm assuming by precious cargo you mean the man. You can drag him for all the city cares.
No,
we
the
need the
ore.
Oh, it's in a sack. It's not a very large amount. You could probably carry it by hand if it were necessary. Like, not in your hand.
We were worried that the place that said, don't handle personally. Do we need any kind of glove or protective equipment? In the worst case scenario?
She pauses for a moment. A pair of gloves might not be bad. By its description for us, we were told that it's in a sack in a cart that's a little too large for it, so that if it rolls around, it's not directly contacting anybody. It said that the miners that dug it up aren't with us anymore.
What?
Would
It's poisonous somehow.
most likely.
Somehow.
Would these jostles his chainmail gloves suffice?
I want to roll history to see if I know any kind of metal that's poisonous by mere contact.
She tells you your gloves should be fine.
History,
That's what I thought.
As
13.
long as it's not on your skin, you should be more than okay. 13.
13, yep.
You've heard the story before that in very rare deposits swept out to the sea or deep under the Arenian Mountains, you can find a odd, glowing green ore. The color is described as sickly green, and it's known to permeate a little bit of powder.
Totally not warpstone.
I think I just hold my face with thought as I cross my arm, thinking about it. Does where this ore came from correlate to the mountain that was just said?
No, it was fished out of the water of the Talian Sea. That being said, it's against the cliff face of those mountains.
Worst comes to worst, I feel like we should at least have some kind of protection against some kind of like spore, so maybe like a face mask.
Whatever you feel is necessary. We don't want you to put your lives at risk. It's at that moment her husband barges in the door. Did you assign that quest already? If it doesn't get done soon, we're going to lose money on it.
Hey, we are taking it. We just want to take the precautions. What was his name again?
Let me double check that I'm reading the right name. Gaiadern.
Okay.
He gets the
Was
complex
he also
name.
a gnome?
No, he's a dwarf.
Okay.
Make
How do you
any
spell Gaiadern?
Gaia Druan.
Sorry, I was right.
Dylan,
I was
please say
saying
that
it while you
again.
were.
Giadruan.
Thank you.
My apologies. I was speaking while you were.
That's fine.
Yeah, it happens. Especially when it's voice only and not in person. I think it would be pronounced Giadron then, or Giadron.
Dwarven dialect.
Yep.
He comes over to the table. He is much rougher in appearance, despite the fact that he is in a suit. He is a all business, no fluff kind of guy. He tells you all very bluntly that he doesn't care what happens to the man just as long as he makes it here alive. We're being paid good money to execute him. Very good money. He squints at everybody. The ore is secondary. It just needs to make it here.
Fair.
So our priority is making sure that he is safe.
Correct.
Our priority is making sure that he arrives alive. That's it.
Alive so that we can kill him. He slaps his hands together. Speaking of money, he sets down some money on the table. A sack of 150 gold for the party to split as a down payment for your mission, and 200 upon completion.
So 50 gold to each of us.
Yes.
The sooner the better.
You have my word, we'll get him here in one piece.
Excellent. Knew I could count on you three. You never let me down.
Before you go, the ore made the good point of a filter or some such. Is that actually necessary? Does it cast dust, spores, whatever she said?
Whatever she said it does. I have no context on that. It's not even part of my job.
And I've only heard of it of rumor. That it produces a green-like spore around it, which is why it's probably contained in the sack. But if something were to happen to cause the sack to rip or otherwise be, unusable, we would probably have to have a replacement and a means to keep ourselves from getting contaminated.
At this point, he's just kind of walked away, happily humming to himself. Leah kind of lets out a sigh and tells you that yes, both are important, and obviously yes, he is more important. It seems bizarre for the city to pay 20 plat just to have someone carted all the way up here and executed, but shrug.
Well, he not only killed his wife, Scowls, as he mentioned that, but he attempted to assassinate someone else. Those are a big deal.
And this was all from, within the confines of the capital, right?
Correct.
Which would also mean, it would be a lot worse of a crime than if it were to happen somewhere in a rural area, because those people have a lot of prestige about them.
Yes, presumably he tried to kill somebody who mattered. Or his
Exactly.
wife mattered.
Or both.
Aye.
She shrugs. Well, at the end of the day, we're getting paid to do it, so we have to do it.
I
Those are
roll
the
up
only questions
the
I had.
I roll up the quest ledger and hand it to Daka. And tell them Dahak. I hand it to Dahak and say that we should probably prepare. I'm going to go to the merchants to see if I can't find a mask, a sack, and a couple of days of rations. If you want, I could cover the cost and get all three of you, both of you masks as well.
I have 10 days worth of rations on me. I don't think we need more.
I've been using mine a lot. I only have like 4 left.
You've
I
been
need
out in the
some.
wilds. We haven't. We're good for rations. Don't bother buying those. I wouldn't say no to a mask. I will reimburse you.
Alright.
So I suppose we should. I suppose we should all have those.
I'll also probably get a set of gloves or 2. Maybe like some kind of greaves that are pretty sturdy, just in case.
Alright.
Alright, game plan. We set up for the quest.
Do you all want to head out into the city together, or do a few of you want to linger in the tavern, bar, eatery space?
I mean, if I've finished the omelet, then I will actually just go join her. I don't actually have any further preparation to do since my spells are already done for the day. I'll just have to cast them.
Alright. Merrick?
I suppose I'll need to prepare my spells too, but I'll catch up with them.
Rendezvous at the south exit gate.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright.
Alright. So I guess that in this instance, Dahak and Ms. May will be heading into the city. Well, Zephyr prepares the spell book. For note, not all classes do need to prepare spells.
Yeah, the cleric needs to prepare spells. I don't know how your spells work.
Let me double check.
He's kind of like the wizard where he has to
But
If he's like a wizard, then he does have to prepare spells.
At his level, though, I don't think he needs to. In this particular instance. No, he doesn't have over his spell count yet. Therefore, all of his spells can be prepped already.
All right, then I guess I'll go with them.
Okay, then. You all head out into the bustling city streets. It's between 8:30 and 9ish in the morning. The streets have begun to fill with lots of children. Ms. May, you immediately see that woman storming around with a guard, attempting to locate a furry noodle.
Oh no! Oh no!
They don't seem to have noticed you yet. I'm just letting you know.
Even in fantasy, you can't escape Karens. I think I'm going to draw my hood, have my weasel underneath my cloak, and then kind of just traverse through the merchant district.
You tuck him into your cloak, and as you do, you immediately feel him shift. He curls around your body, goes up on your back, and you can feel him slowly pushing his way up into your hood. After a moment of wiggling, where he is very visible on your backside, by the way, like under the cloak, like the lump, You feel his little head push out by your neck and just lay down next to it.
As unfortunate as it may be, that's the best place for him because he's a lot less noticeable than if he were to just be out and about. I'm just gonna give the guard and that woman a huge berth in the crowd.
Alright. But yeah, heading out into the street, you guys see in the immediate vicinity there's some street vendors. Nothing that seems to really be selling preparatory stuff. You're kind of in like a housing district or in a light business district. So mostly this is like retail goods for the average consumer. From experience, you all know that the majority of traveling gear is purchased toward the outside of the city.
Well, the things that there's only a couple of traveling gear that we would be getting. You would think a lot of shops would just sell sacks and stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like we should get at least 2 of them. Maybe 3 in case we find something on the way that's interesting that we can just quickly store. Do either of you have lanterns or any kind of like torch?
10 torches.
Okay.
I also probably wouldn't bother bringing them since I believe, yeah, I have light, the spell. The cantrip spell.
So do I. Yeah, I have that too.
It could be good for traversing, tight places, but torches can be stabbed into the ground and make a perimeter around a camp.
Okay.
Also, they don't require concentration.
Yep.
True.
For some reason I feel like getting chain and a lock.
I mean, I have 50 feet of rope. I don't think we're
That's
going
fine
to
enough,
need,
yeah.
more than that.
Let's find the face covers, which
Yeah.
we could probably find in any kind of tailor, like any kind of length of cloth that we can just cut up.
Alright.
Really, all we need are scarves. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, luckily for you, at this time of the year, you would easily be able to find scarves in most of the retail stores as winter is coming around.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go over to one of the retail stores, grab a scarf.
Do you walk over to the nearest one, or do you look for a specific type of scarf?
Probably just a broad one.
Yeah, a broad one.
Alright. You walk over to the shopkeeper. This particular one seems to it is a high elf in race. She's kind of covered. She seems to have her own kind of shawl for her face, and actually has more of that eastern desert appearance. She looks like she's traveled quite a ways based on what's in her bag and around her cart. She asks what she can do for you. I carry some of the finest silks from across the land, and I'm always open to trade silks with another.
We are looking for cloths that have a high filtration quality.
Hairy cloth?
I think that would work. Maybe something that's just more dense than hairy.
No, airy.
Oh, airy. Yeah. My bad. If I said hairy.
I heard terry cloth.
The hairy terry cloth.
Power!
It's like
Terry
wearing
cream.
a Huggy Wuggy on your face. She produces 3 lengths of cloth. They're not exactly scarves, but the material itself seems to kind of be like the inside padding of a winter jacket almost. It has like a flexible fiber feel to it.
certainly feels like it would be sweaty if we were to overexert ourselves.
Something lighter then.
A little bit.
She stops for a moment and begins rummaging. She produces a length of what she defines as elven weave. As she shows it to you, she explains that it's from the Wood Elves. It is a spider silk and vine threaded cloth. It is both light and dense. Though it's a
Capture
bit
sounds extremely
sticky.
expensive. Sorry.
How expensive would that be?
She tells you that it would be a gold a meter.
And
As
a
in
meter is
fabric.
long enough. It's like a single meter long muffler. That's
3 feet.
really long. I think it would be perfect.
I mean, you could also just wear tarragon.
But
Yeah.
I don't want him to get whole wet.
Are you gonna make him wear a scarf too?
I might.
Get him a long ass
Also-
Doctor Who ass scarf the length of a weasel.
Also, looking at my Dragonborn companion, he would have to have something other than a muffler too, wouldn't he?
Frog.
Because of his iguana face.
That is a good point.
I just give her a gold and take my muffler, and I ask them for, you know, what they would like.
I could make a mask out of the fabric.
That'd be a good idea.
I'm afraid it would probably look more like a muzzle than a scarf, though. Looking at your companion.
He shrugs again.
On the
Then
mention,
pauses as he vaguely remembers something and grins. Do you have one of those delightful plague doctor masks?
No, but I think there's somebody selling hats down the road.
That's not a hat. Walks away and starts looking in confusion.
on the topic of muzzle, can you actually make my weasel one?
Sure. She quickly restitches the edges and hands you a small piece of fabric and just tells you can keep it.
Aww.
Dahak, you walk down the road a little flustered by this woman. It was clear she doesn't speak common as a native language, but you walk down, you can see that there is a few shops that have, quote, hats, and there's also a few that have medical supplies. There is actually one specifically that has a bunch of plague masks.
I go over there and buy one that is appropriately sized for my muzzle.
As you approach this cart, you read the sign that's listed on it and says, "Protect yourself from the plague. The doom is coming, and you will be prepared."
Does the shopkeep look familiar?
No.
Oh,
Totally
okay.
different guy. This guy's got a big curly mustache and a top hat.
He sees a demand and he's taken advantage of it. My
Yeah,
guy.
no, like that's fine. He put a crazy guy. He loaded Chekhov's gun with a crazy guy that was claiming doom and gloom, and here's the thing about doom, so it would have made sense.
Not
Anyway.
gloom yet, just doom.
Ah,
Yeah.
you look like a man of quality healing equipment. I can offer you a great number of things from my fine shop, including cheese.
I do like cheese.
Excellent. I even have it with mold and without mold in case you want the healing properties of it. As my store motto goes, in Doom, everything just works.
Sorry, just noticed something that
What?
you typed.
Wet Mord?
I suppose I'll take both. Also, yes, I need a plague mask for myself. Do you have any this size motions to just his muzzle?
Of course. It's uncommon to have something in the size of a dragonborn. However, dwarves also have a very wide face. He goes around the back and grabs an extra large version of the Plague Doctor's mask. Instead of a pointed white beak, it has a toucan beak.
Yeah, nice.
Everything in my shop just works.
It just works.
Shut up.
Appreciate.
Don't ruin it.
So, how much will this? How much does this tab run me?
You have such amazing scales. It would be rude of me to charge you anything severely high for my wonderful services. Just you wearing my beautiful outfit would be more than enough compensation. But I'll at least charge you for the materials. He says 5 gold.
I give him 5 gold.
Thank you for your patronage, and please be safe on the road.
I nod and then nod to him. And you, sir.
As you walk a little away, you hear a large click as he slaps the side of his cart, and the entire motif of the cart changes immediately. It's now
What is
gag magic items.
Amusing. Though it makes one wonder what the point of having me. I take a look at the cheese. I take closer looks at the cheese and mask.
The mask says made in Winterhelm on it, and the cheese says produced in Skyrim on it.
I look inside the mask to see if it's pre-stuffed with anything.
It is not.
I sniff at it cautiously.
It has the distinct smell of mead.
I put it and the cheese away in my pack.
I mean, those kind of masks are supposed to have a floral bouquet.
Yes, it makes sense, but considering like he literally just turned into a joke shop, he put 2 and 2 together and figured he should make sure he wasn't being pranked.
Speaking of the prank shop, the sign now reads Todd Howard's Cart of Mysterious Items.
Hod Howard. Mm. Oh, fuck.
God damn it.
You can't keep getting away with this.
He's getting away with it.
As you know, you're investigating your mask, a group of children run over, interested in his cutesy looking wares, and they start buying these little rings for 12 copper that shoot a single magic missile bolt when you go pew pew with your fingers. Very quickly, some kid gets beamed in the head and passes out. He quickly picks up his cart and vacates the area.
No refunds.
Like
Jesus.
the hawk is chuckling and smiling until the kid gets beamed in the head and walks over to start healing the kid.
The kid is okay. He just has 1 hit point.
Okay. It's still what my character would do.
Alright. You make sure he's not dying. His mother comes over after a bit. Oh my gosh, is he okay? What happened?
Some pranks turned out to be more harmful than he and his friends thought.
They need to be more careful, okay, kids? Go shoot the magical lines at the cats or something, not at each other. The kids scamper off. She thanks you so much, and she offers you a small packaged cookie.
Oh. I thank her for the cookie and take it.
No problem. I made them myself. Have a good day, Mr. Cleric.
Thank you, ma'am, and you as well.
Cutting back over to Zephyr. The woman has now turned her attention to you to see what kind of mask she could provide you. Well, scarf. Merrick.
Oh no, Merrick's dead.
Oh,
I think I killed him with that. Shit. Fuck. Just,
What?
sorry, Merrick. I
Silence
keep
thought.
interrupting him.
No, I'm here. So, can you run that by me again?
So, you and Miss May were at the Eastern Lady shop, and she was trying to procure scarves for you. She couldn't really help your Dragonborn companion, so he went off to go find a mask. She's asking what she can do for you.
So, I'm here, sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just say what your character wants.
We're here to try and get some kind of like protective face covering in case the bag rips open and we have to secure and put it back inside of another bag.
I could give you the same scarf as your companion.
Yes, and yes, I'd like that and a pair of gloves.
Oh, certainly. Would you like them out of the same material?
If it isn't too much trouble.
Not at all. I'm happy to help. She pulls out a quick hand press. Very briefly, she's putting the indentations into the fabric to make finger holes. It's not the most elegant glove in the world, but she's turning it into a makeshift glove quickly. After about 2 minutes, she hands you a pair of gloves and a length of fabric to use as a scarf. The craftsmanship on the gloves is not terrible, but you can tell that it's not her main thing of work.
And how much will this run me?
2 gold.
I give her 2 gold.
She gives you a warm nod, and she hopes that it keeps you safe. It would be a shame if such a lovely face were to leave the world early.
Thank you. I hope it keeps me safe too.
I feel like I should go to an armorer for greaves. Or no, gauntlets.
Alright. You guys start making your way on heading outward in the city. As you walk by Todd Howard's Armaments or Smarmaments. No, just No, on your way out of town, there are several large dwarven foundries building out into the extended merchants. At the moment, a lot of them seem pretty preoccupied buying ore. But there's a couple of apprentices running orders at the shops at the moment.
I'm gonna head over towards one of them and ask if they have any kind of gauntlets, whether it be 1 or 2, in my size. I'm gonna be handling some precious materials, and I don't want my hands getting hurt.
Alright. You look around for a second, look for anything that sounds like it might be in your general taste just by vision. And I'm gonna say you pick Dwalin Smith and Stand.
The Wallen Smith and Stand?
Yep.
1 second. Where do I put that? I'm gonna put that under landmarks, why not?
Now, they have a few gauntlets on display. None of them are like super detailed, super nice. It seems like they mainly specialize in customizables, but they do have a few of their display stuff for sale. Hence why this one stood out, is just because they had stuff available.
So they would be the place that would have these like heavy duty gauntlets made specifically to handle rough material.
Correct. Or
Perfect.
custom to like a nobleman, or there's a young dwarven man inside. He kind of takes notice of you, like more that you're there looking, but doesn't immediately come over to greet you. And the master of the forge is well busy negotiating ore prices.
I'll patiently wait my turn.
You wait there for a minute. He still doesn't come over.
Is there a bell to get his attention?
There is a bell.
Does it look like he's actually like working on something? Or is he just taking like notes or some shit?
He is half-heartedly working on something, but he's looked up at you a few times, like out of the corner of his eye, and you have noticed it.
I just give him this like straight expression and, you know, reach towards the bell slowly as he looks at me and just ring it.
As you reach over and ring it, he stands up, rolls his eyes in your direction, and says, "Yeah, what can I do for you?"
I need gauntlets.
Certainly. Just as a reminder, we don't make things out of wood. What kind of gauntlet did you need?
As soon as he says we don't make things out of wood, I just take this general look around his, you know, stand, seeing all the metal, with this like shocked expression, like, "You don't say." I need something heavy duty so I can handle raw material, a rough material, so it doesn't hurt my hands.
I wouldn't want you to hurt your precious fingies. Do you have any? Do you have anything in mind for what you'd like?
I cock my hip and rub the calluses on my fingers from my bow and say, "Oh yeah, I certainly wouldn't want to damage them."
Sensing a slight bit of tension in the air, the master of the forge comes back over. He immediately pushes his younger apprentice aside and with a more cheerful tone says, sorry about that. What can I do for you?"
Hi. I require a set of gauntlets that I can use to handle a very rough material.
Alright, anything battle practical or just outdoor worky?
Outdoor worky.
He reaches underneath his little counter and he pulls up this leather-bound glove. It seems to have some metal plates along parts of the finger and the back part of the hand. Would something like this work? Flexible yet protective?
Can I try it on?
Certainly. He pulls it off of the rack and he extends it toward you, holding it open so that you can slide your hand forward.
Do I notice any kind of price check on it first?
Nope.
Yeah, like while he's... No?
Being said, his face is red.
His face is red.
Mm-hmm.
To put his mind at ease, I'm going to take 10 gold out of my coin purse and put it on the counter before I take this glove and put it on.
Not like angry.
No, I know he's not angry at me. He's probably embarrassed that his apprentice was trying to be rude to a customer.
Alright.
So I want to prove that I have intent to purchase. So 10 gold on the counter.
All
Put the
right.
one glove on, letting him keep the other one. I want to see if it's like a nice fit.
As you snug your hand into it, he gently caresses your hand and says, "My, it's a near perfect fit."
I raise both of my brows and stare at him. Thank you? It is a pretty nice and comfortable fit, seeing as it's meant for durable work.
Well, good, good. I'm glad I can provide services that are useful to you.
Appreciated. A little bit flustered, given this is the first time any kind of store owner is like openly flirtatious.
I know, usually you get shooed.
Which was the initial experience here. I asked him if he could make it a little bit more snug but still loose.
He rests the backside of the glove on his hand and pulls on two small strings on the backside of each of the plates until you feel it tighten around your fingers and wrist.
Ah, perfect.
He then knots the strings and tucks them back. If you'd like, we can do custom embroidery work too, though it will take me a little bit of time.
I give him this like this dumbfound smirk at him. You know, it's like the balls on this guy to do this. And I tell him that if I come back, you know, after using these for their intended purpose, I might have him embroidered.
Well, I could make time in my schedule for that. He takes a step back. He says, 5 gold for the glove, 7 for the pair.
I look at the glove and I see like it's nice craftsmanship. Am I aware that I could still wear these gloves while using the bow, or
Yeah,
is it
you could.
literally like heavy duty? Okay, you know what? I look at the ground and then look up at him and I give him the 10 gold and tell him that it's, yeah, um, that it was nice doing business with him, and that I'll be
Same.
around.
Always welcome.
And you're Dwalin, hence the name of the stand, right?
I am. Smith after my dad's, after my dad's, after my dad's, and soon, my son's. Gives him a good old smack on the back. The son continues to just stare at you, now kind of having that fake-ass salesman smile.
I'm tempted to just drop like 2 more gold on this table, but another part's like, no.
No, encourage these shenanigans. Encourage them.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put 2 more gold down. So
My word, such lovely patronage. We'd be happy to have you back anytime. His face lights up like a big jolly Santa Claus. His kid rolls his eyes and goes back to polishing gloves in the back.
needless to say, the pleasure was all mine. Then I just, depart with this like air of did that actually happen
Yep.
as I walk back.
You get about, I want to say about 200 feet away from the counter, walking down the market street, when your hand starts to get itchy. You take off the glove for a second and look inside. You see a tag.
Oh.
2 gold.
My smile doesn't fade, but my brow kind of lowers. I rip the tag off and let it drop on the floor as I'm walking, and I put the gauntlet back on. I didn't pay for the gauntlets, I paid for the experience of buying it.
Just in the distance, you can hear, and that son's how you make a sale on nothing.
Bruh. I got swindled out of 12 gold.
No, you got swindled out of 10 gold.
Oh, yeah, true.
Well, I mean, you did get the pair, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, I mean, 6 gold, 7, 8 gold.
Yeah.
But the experience.
Exactly.
Anyway, what was Merrick doing during that time?
Following
Or
along, I
saying-
imagine. Like, you guys got your scarves and gloves. And then I imagined you guys were moving down the street.
Okay.
Is there something else Merrick wants to do?
Nothing I can think of.
Trust me, feel free. Lay in as any way you want. I'll find some way to have fun with it.
I will remind you that Merrick has been in only 2 or 3 other campaigns.
You know. Just let loose.
Anyway,
Sorry, go on.
whenever we reconvene, you notice that Dahak is already wearing his mask.
Plague Doctor Toucan.
Yeah.
Dr. Toucan, Plague and Sam.
But yes, before moving on, was Zephyr doing anything? No was an acceptable answer.
No.
Alright. So, before we reconvene, there was one thing that I wanted to get, and I didn't want to interrupt the flow. Like I said, I wanted to either get a backpack or a sack. Maybe both.
I mean, you could have gotten in a sack.
Bruh.
No, there are several different shops selling equipment. There is actually a wood elf here selling camping equipment.
I think I'm gonna go over there, see if they sell backpack, kindling, wood, tinderbox, maybe. I have my own supply, but it's also getting dwindlingly, like, down there
Yeah,
in supply.
you make your way over there, and there's actually a special that they have where they're selling an entire camping kit for 3 gold, or the individual parts for their respective price. Like a tinderbox is 2 copper, the backpack is a gold, the bedroll is a gold.
I'm definitely getting that camping kit, because it comes with a backpack, right?
Yep. And a
Yep.
watering can. Or canteen, or however you want to put it.
Perfect.
Water skin, that's it. That's the word. Like all your basic essentials. And a tiny 1-person, tent. It's mostly just a tarp and strings, but
Alright.
Nothing too fancy.
I have my own tent and bedroll too, so I could probably combine those to make it a 2-person tent.
Yeah. That's the thinking we like here. He sells it to you for 3 gold.
I happily give him the 3 gold.
Let me see if I can channel this right. Safe travels, friend.
I give him a wave with my 12 gold gauntlet. Waggly finger.
Same to you. As you guys make your way, I'm gonna just assume that you're generally heading toward the exit of town as you go.
It's where we said we would rendezvous.
And since everyone's kind of already out and about and no one's made any sign of going elsewhere, speak now or forever hold your peace.
That's it.
Okay. You guys head down the main strip of the city, passing by food merchants, material vendors, the occasional odd shop. Example, Todd Howard's. Example, chocolate-coated rat stall. You know, silly things. It's a very happy town.
Chocolate-coated rats.
There's a lot of rats.
Rats. We are the rats.
We pray at night, we stalk at night. We are the rats. I am the rat who makes all of the rules. I've only seen the rats on stream for like 3 seconds and they went back into the bedding.
It happens.
One of them is named after a Warhammer character. Get your ass up.
Whatever. So, as I said, when we all meet back up, the Hawk's already wearing his mask.
Right. You're already wearing your mask. You guys have met up. You're making your way through the city. As you make your way out of the city in proper, you know, probably a little closer to 11, 12. You've got about a day's travel one way and a day's travel back, assuming you assuming you stop to rest. At some point, I expect you to rest because of the rule. A rest every 24 hours.
I would like to rest near like a body of water if it's possible.
You'll be a long one nearly the entire trip.
Yeah, but I mean like close to like the coast of the body of water.
Alright.
Because I want to be able to fish.
I mean, you are the guide.
Yep.
These are your woods.
Me.
As you are the only local resident in the party.
Yep.
And I'm aware that, you know, the more predatory animals don't like to be around the coast unless they're really hungry.
Yes, as you head out of the city, a few people walk by you.
Hang on.
Huh?
My mom needs something. Sorry.
Oh, okay, no problem.
You want to put a pause on this? I do need to use the bathroom.
We could take a quick BRB.
We have been going for a good, I think, 2 hours.
Yeah,
Thereabouts, yeah. It's already
Yeah.
9:03.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
let's take
take
a little break.
let's take a short 5-ish minute break. We'll be right back.
Me.
Alright.
Thank you so much for your cardboard redeem and your hydrate redeem. I'm choosing alcohol. Thank you. We're chit-chatting, we might as well have it up. Hey guys, we're still waiting for Shooty.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to not.
Fart. Man, I wish I had big farts.
I mean, I think the way it works is since I'm on Nitro, I can use soundboards from whatever Discord I'm a part of. I imagine, like, you're a part of the server that has that poot, but I don't think you can use it right now since we're not in that server's voice chat.
Nope.
Oh, so Queemy is confused.
Hi, Queenie. We're waiting for Lilith to get back from their break.
Oh no.
And in the meantime, we have rodents who seem to be stirring due to the foreign object that was requested to be placed in their cage.
Yay. I feel like adjusting the chips so that there's less place for them to like, it seems like they have piled up the chips along the wall of their
I wish you had big one.
closest to us.
Cookie care is a pet for your tummy.
Gonna leave it at that. I said nothing about wishing I had a big anything.
Nah, you want big.
Being said, yeah, I could move the wood chips. The thing is, they pile them back there every night. Give them a
Oh.
treat. Okay, now I have to move the wood chips. I'll be right back.
Man, some of the people in the recommended feed have some fun names. Automatic Giraffe, Extra Fabulous.
Aww.
Yes. Cute babies. Feed the baby. Of course. Of course, they grab the treat and then run away. So we don't get to see them. Oh, there we go. Oh,
He came up to the glass and said, "Scratch it," so I played with him.
oh, they're both here. Huzzah!
So the brown one is Gale, and the white and brown one is Queek. Like the one with the spots on the head. Has
So what we
everyone
see
drink
now
water
is
today?
Gale, and the one that just went back into the chips is Queek.
Yep. Also, thank you for the hydrate. Remember, everyone, to take a drink and stretch.
Yeah.
They seem to know there's a lot of people watching them today.
Yeah, no, like pets in general all seem to go to the same school of, oh, I'm being perceived.
Big face.
There.
He's trying to get it out of his way so bad. I've given them an extra long tube before, and I've had one of them chew it from the inside while inside of it, and then the other one chew it from the outside. Like rolling the one inside around. It's adorable, and they both go crazy at it.
I believe it.
Look at the little baby. Uh-oh, they heard the train, and now I can hear Gale tapping his foot.
Tappa, tappa, tappa.
No, it's like...
No, I meant like tapping your foot. Tappa, tappa, tappa.
Oh, yeah. Where did the little go?
I think grabbing coffee and checking on the other stuff is taking longer than expected, is where Lil went.
They got the treat.
Yay! Is that Connor? I don't think that's Connor. The hair looks too dark.
Sorry for taking so long. I had to get something outside.
No,
You should be, you monster.
no problem. Pet cam is working right now.
Yeah.
Aw.
In fact, let me grab the features here. Oh, can I not? No, let me do it. It won't let me edit the camera.
Edge.
I wanted to zoom in. Why won't you let me do that? Whatever. There he goes. Now he's eating the cardboard. The baby. Alrighty. We'll switch on back.
Is Merrick back?
Yeah.
Ben back.
Or the
Yeah, I'm
last person.
back.
Amusingly, he came back as soon as both of you left to use the restroom and such.
Oh. That timing.
That
Yep,
timing.
whatever. Moving on.
Anyway, so now that we've had an extended 15-minute break, you
Move
guys
on.
you guys run your way out of the city, and as you make your way out of the city, you pass by a group of individuals that are wearing long black cloaks. They don't say anything, and they pass quietly with their heads in a light bow, almost in a religious fashion.
Okay.
Do they have any kind of iconography on their attire that shows what kind of religion they're from?
Yeah, no, like that's what I was just rolling. I got a 20, so that's a 23 on knowledge religion.
Initially, as they pass you, no. But after they've walked by you and you take a good second glance back at them, you can see that there is one across their back. And it's very similar to the logo that is on stream.
So I don't really know much about it, do I?
You don't know much about it, no. But
But
there
I do
is
know
one.
that but I'm guessing I know that they worship the Great Horned One.
No.
Huh?
In fact,
What do I know?
you've never seen this before, but based on religious symbolism, you know that it's not ever really a good thing to know that a religion has sharp ankles in a logo.
Oh
But
boy.
to be fair, this church is inclusive, the one that they're building here in town. It's the same reason you're in town to begin with.
Yep.
To add your religion to the ever-growing massive cathedral. So
Yeah,
it's
like
only fair that the other people get to add theirs too.
Yeah, like I frown at not noticing it, and then frown a bit deeper at the semi-ominous symbology, but then shrug it off and keep going.
I mean, you can stop them if you want.
I don't particularly want to, no. I'm sure I'll find out more about them when I get back in town.
Investigate.
I mean, yeah, no, I'm gonna investigate, but I'm gonna do that later. We got a job to do. I'm gonna do the job first.
Is this a
Okay.
group investigation?
No. Just passive
Alright,
insight.
then.
Now, as the guide, Miss May, you know that you'll be heading toward the east side of Talea. I say that out loud because I dropped important details earlier. If anyone noticed them. Not as a call out, just making sure you're aware.
So we're not heading towards the Fey Woods.
No.
I
I have changed the map a slight bit.
Alright.
You're heading to the east. Heading to the east, you do know that the orcs are in that direction. No, they're mostly found up in the mountains, and you'll be staying to the woods.
I do relay this to the party, saying that we'll be heading east towards the woods that surround Kavzar. And with this season having orcs, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be very rare a chance that the orcs would come down this far from the mountains, but it's not an unheard of situation, so we should be on our guard.
I give the equivalent of a thumbs up, whatever that is in this setting.
Thumbs up.
A middle finger. The universal sign for peace in a new universe is whatever you want it to be. Flips off the camera.
I told him that it means peace among worlds.
Yep.
So yes, you guys begin to progress out of the city. You walk by a couple of late to the arrival merchants and some farmers as you make your way out of town, walking through what seems like at least 2 hours of pure fields. Just non-stop. More concerning, though, on the way out of town, there are a bunch of rats scurrying around the lower end of the field. They are bad this time of year, but you know as well as anybody may that they don't belong there.
This is starting to sound a little bit more like widespread and a lot worse than it is in the city. So I'm gonna have Tarragon just round up as many rats as he can see, that he sees, to get him snacky and, let him have his fun on the way too.
Cull the population.
Exactly.
You say carefully hunt, and he hears Cole, and he just jumps down and starts biting necks and running around. He leaves the body directly where he bites and just goes for the next one.
Brutal.
I scowl a bit when we notice all the rats. Like, they've been showing up a lot more frequently, haven't they?
In the town, yeah. I haven't seen
Hawk?
them
Go ahead.
this badly outside.
The Hawk blinks at this, looks around, says, "Oh, this isn't normal."
Not outside of town, it isn't.
Ah,
There's at least a pest control in the interior walls. Outside, it's free range for them.
to be fair, I'm not that well versed on the difference between a field mouse and a rat, so I had assumed they were the former.
Jumps out of the bush. Oh shit! A rat!
I just give Daka a
Sorry.
I just give him a soft smile, like you're trying.
He shrugs.
Tarragon probably kills about 20 in the course of the next hour. Never really leaving your line of sight. You just kind of hear sharp squeaks every few seconds.
Woohoo! For 20 free XP.
For Tarragon.
Yes.
Oh.
Is he going to eat any of them?
Well, I mean, I'd assume he would.
After you guys start to, narrow down on the fields a little bit, he comes over to you and he just drops a rat at your foot and looks at you. He nudges it towards you.
I look at him and then the rest of the party, crouch down, take the rat, and start putting it on my bandolier.
As you go to put on your bandolier, he nudges you.
I'll prepare
Nudges
it
or
later.
nuzzles?
I'd say nuzzles.
No, it's more aggressive than nuzzles. Like, he's poking you.
What does he want me to do with it?
I don't know. Maybe you should investigate that. See if you can't figure out what he's trying to project you.
I want to take a look at the rat.
The rat is minimally injured, and it seems like it's a big, plumpy rat.
Minimally injured.
It is dead. But, like, very cleanly taken out.
Does this look like what the rats that are usually, like, that usually inhabit this area? Or does it look like some kind of new genus to me?
It's bigger than the rats that are normally around town. Not really a different species, but it's noticeably bigger. He nudges you again.
I hold it by the tail and I hover it over Tarragon's face.
He shakes his head no at you and then nudges at you.
Can I roll insight or animal handling to see what he wants me?
Sure.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he wants you to eat it.
16.
Yeah, he wants you to eat it.
I tell him later as I tie the tail to my bandolier.
Wait, hold on. The hog's like, can I see it?
I hand it to him.
He takes off the mask, eats it, puts the mask back on. Thank you.
No problem.
Tarragon looks at you curiously, then scurries back off into the brush and grabs another one.
Oh.
What I was going to do was, skin them and, skewer them for camp tonight, but if you want to eat them raw, go ahead.
Oh. Just noticed chat. K-Rat's doing funny.
Eat the rat.
Yep.
Mm.
I now got it.
Oh.
I
That
asked
probably would be a better idea, yes.
I asked
And
Tarragon to collect
despite
the
that-
20.
And despite that, since Tarragon did just bring him another one, he lifts up his mask, takes it and eats it, and then puts his mask back down. I think that will be the last one I have for now. I don't want to spoil my supper.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
That is a 12. So I got, I think, +2 on the Constitutions. Yes. So a total of 14.
As the first rat hits your stomach and settles a little bit, you feel upset.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't eat the second rat. I suppose I have spoiled myself on pre-cooked food. I won't be eating the second one, but how do I don't how do I thank him?
I gesture, like my hand petting.
I take the rat and I pet the furry noodle.
Hmm.
He accepts and falls back into line by his master's foot.
I think I'm going to start collecting the other 18.
Oh, you're going to walk out into the field and pick up the rats?
It's either that or I'm going to ask Tarragon to do it.
Yeah, I just ask him to fetch them.
Do you
Yeah.
ask?
Yeah.
Okay. Please convey your message to him. Animal handling.
Actually, I crouch down and cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
I look him in his eyes and I tell him, "Could you collect those rats? Or the plumps?"
He tilts his head and scurries off. You guys give him a couple minutes, and he brings back 5, 6, 7 rats, coin
good.
purse, half a
coin
boot,
I check the coin purse.
a rat, a
Is that
finger.
rat alive? A finger? Oh dear.
Wait, what?
The coin purse is empty, but digging your finger through it looking for stuff, your finger feels kind of itchy.
I look at my finger.
There's sparkly green dust on it. Thank God you're wearing your gloves.
Yep. I drop the bag immediately, and I put on my scarf.
Tarragon comes back with another finger. He looks at you curiously.
I pull out my bow and I say that we should, I give a signal to the rest of the party that combat is imminent.
Just a second.
Hmm? Sounds like a BRB to me. I'm sorry, did the funny change too drastically?
No, it's Warhammer.
Okay, alright, sorry.
No problem. May has requested that you prepare yourself.
Yeah, Tarragon found something interesting. The sack that matches the description of what we were supposed to collect, and a bunch of fingers.
He found a hand of chicken fingies.
Chicken fingies.
What do the fingers actually look like, and do they match?
Oh, they're fingers, and yes, they're human fingers.
They're human?
They actually
Okay.
look a little bony. Like, not like they're showing bone, like they're thin.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Well, I draw my falchion and assume a defensive stance.
I look around for a defendable position.
You're surrounded by fields of wheat.
Okay, then.
The most defensible position would probably be the road, since you can see around you.
I suggest we start heading for the road. No cover there.
I'm already heading towards the road, and I get to the center and crouch down.
On the way there, I equip my shield and sword.
All right. As you get into the road and crouch down, looking about the ground, make a perception check. And does anyone help / join you in this task?
I'll help, because I'm already also in that defensive
Well, you're the one
hyper-alert
doing
stage.
it.
I will help.
All right. That's
All right,
plus
that's
2.
a 25 to help.
Yeah, they get an additional on their roll for helping, unless you want to look too. In which case, it's a separate roll.
Okay, I thought I
believe
had
he
to act.
has...
I'm accustomed to having to roll and just beat a number to aid.
All right.
And I think he has a higher perception than me, so I would be helping him.
Okay, that can be the other way around. So yeah,
Alright.
you'd roll, you'd take your 25, and it's plus 2.
Okay, says 27.
So you have a really good view of a corpse in the middle of this field. The body kind of looks familiar. It looks like some guy that was running around this morning screaming about doom and gloom.
Okay, so it is the old man I was about to ask.
There are several large balls of fur around the corpse. Each of them are probably about the size of a human head.
Ah. Well, I point those out. I believe that is the problem. Also, it seems that man was more accurate than he thought. Or I thought, at least.
To the group is relayed that there is a body in the cornfield, or wheat field.
Yep.
Being gnawed on
It
by
doesn't
rodents.
It doesn't explain the bag.
That's concerning.
Well, we need to kill those rats. If they're bold enough to attack a human, and presumably are the cause of these fingers, we need to kill them before they kill again.
Are we sure that it was the reason why the guy died and they're not just scavenging? We'd have to get
Do you
closer in
want
order to
the
discover it.
rats to habituate scavenging humanoid bodies?
I agree that we have to kill them, but I think that we should at least see the cause of death before we say that's from the rats.
Well, it wouldn't be Occam's razor, but replace Occam's razor. And that's really all he says before starts walking over to the corpse.
I'm gonna give him a covering position. You know, like from a range, I'm gonna watch him and protect him from a distance.
All right. Zephyr, how about you? What position will you take?
I'll take a position next to May and and I'll put my falchion away and get my crossbow out.
Okay. All right. So taking the lead, Daka, you make your way into the field.
Why does everybody keep saying Daka? It's Dahak.
Sorry.
We're not even an orc.
Because there's another kind of dragonoid like creature named the Haka that we know.
Well, you keep calling me Daka, not Dahaka, just Daka. Unless Discord keeps eating the final syllable of that. Either way, Dahak is named.
Dahak. My bad. It is our first session.
Yeah, it's fair.
So you make your way into the field. As you approach, you can very clearly see that the majority of this man is no longer, well, what little skin he did have. In fact, there's not even that many bones left of him. You see the majority of his torso. His guts are now stretched out across the mud in the field. One rat is slowly working on gnawing its way through his bones and his leg joints. The rats seem kind of fat and bulbous. At a closer inspection, you can see that there's spines coming out of their back. They don't even seem to notice as you approach.
Oh, that's not good at all. Anders, poking one of their spines, decides it's a better idea to kill them first. Attack roll.
Roll the hit.
Yeah, no, I did. Of course, now when I don't need a high number, of course, now I get the low number when the. Whatever. A 13?
Alright, you hit.
Yeah, 13. I was going to say 13 is probably good enough to hit anyway.
They are rat.
Yeah. Back to the 1d6. Oh, wait. Can I click that? Does it? It does work that way. Oh, wait, no. That makes it roll multiple at once. Alright. Oh, wait, no. That was the wrong kind of die. I should be D8. Bit. Alright. 10 damage.
Alright. Pretty easily, you're able to dispatch of the first rat. This causes the other ones to react. The other rats turn toward you slowly, almost as if their motor functions are not completely intact. As they pull themselves off of the body, you can see that this man has several small green bite marks, and the rat's teeth seem to be coated in some kind of metallic green dust.
Ah. Well, it seems it was a very good idea indeed to get these masks.
Everyone roll for initiative.
Okay. Blah. Okay.
14.
15.
Uh, 14.
Mm-hmm. 1 second. 14. And group initiative for our rodents is 16. Rodents go first.
Versus.
So to describe, you killed the one rodent that was on the other side of this body. The other 3 are on the opposite side. One near the head, one near the waist, one near the legs. Your 2 companions are about 30 feet behind you. Although with their crossbows and bows, they should easily be able to hit that range. The first rat from the legs charges you, and despite their immediate slow motions, they seem to move at a blistering speed. Hmm.
Seeing as I was overwatching him, do I have a reaction?
You can both have a reaction. In fact, I think I would prefer it right now.
Me.
Take your reaction, please, for the love of God, take it.
And because it is an action, I can't use my Hunter's Mark. It's just the shot.
Yep.
And no sneak attack.
And I
because-
I can't use like my extra attack trait.
No.
Mm,
It's like you probably shouldn't have let me go over there by myself.
That's all right. At least he has an option.
on his turn, you're only 30 feet away. On his turn, he can move over to you.
Yeah, I know. I'm more just razzing
From
Merrick.
from this angle, Merrick wouldn't be able to take a shot at this one. May, though, is an opportune spot to take it.
So, no advantage, no sneak attack dice, no bonus action, so no Hunter's Mark. I'm going to just attack it with a d8. And I landed with a 19 plus 7, 26.
26 to hit.
Yep, 26 to hit.
You hit.
And damage. 11 points of piercing damage.
You hit it. The arrow flies straight through. The rat continues its lunge forward. It goes to take a bite of your leg with a natural 20.
Oh, lovely.
Oof.
How much damage?
I didn't think I'd roll one as my first combat roll, but thank you, dice. I love you.
I mean, I almost rolled 1 with mine. Mine was a 19.
They do max damage, so it does 6 points of piercing damage as it bites into your leg. And I need a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, hold on.
You know,
that is a 17.
All right, it's successful. You don't take any adverse effects from the bite, just the bite. It goes into bite. Second rat. He comes at you. He tries to bite your leg as well. As a 13.
Nope. 18's the number.
Other rat sees the other rats in combat, begins to run away, running by Merrick's line of sight.
I take a shot at it, and I roll d20, and what? What's my modifier?
You add your proficiency bonus and your dexterity modifier.
Bum bum bada bum 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 bum. Bada bum 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 bum. Ah yes, the Skyrim music picks up.
All I have is simple weapons, martial weapons, and falchion.
Crossbows,
No
martial,
proficiency.
Isn't crossbow martial?
All right, so it's just.
No, it's not.
All right, so it's just a flat. So it's just no modifier.
Yep.
14.
Yeah, it's a crossbow.
You hit. Roll your damage.
Oh, okay.
And what do I roll for damage?
It should be written next to your weapon, like in your weapons section of your page.
What 1d8p for
1d8
piercing.
pierce.
Yep. Don't forget to add your, I think, like dexterity mod to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my dex modifier is 0.
Just roll your damage.
8.
8, nice.
It
The bolt sinks in. It destabilizes it a little bit. It continues its movement, but it's slower. All right, back to the list here. Let me see. Where did I start writing that? No. Fuck. Anyway, Merrick's turn.
Do I start moving over to Dahak.
All right. You make your way over to his side. You can see that one rat is firmly planted into his leg. These rats appear to be more bite than bark. Yes.
Oh, wait. I just took a look at the handbook. Short bows and crossbows are simple weapons. So he does have a proficiency with it.
Still hit.
Alright, I just wanted to clear that up. I was looking at it because I was confused.
Don't you dare start the rule, lawyer.
No, I was confused if I had a proficiency with it. So I just had to read my longbow, and I have a proficiency with it.
Alright,
So I thought I had a mistake. Sorry, go on.
Alright, because I didn't see any kind of attack bonus next to my crossbow.
You can mark it for the future if you like, plus proficiency.
Proficiency in dex.
Either way.
Well, my dex modifier is 0, so nothing.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
All right.
Being said, plus proficiency on damage, that rat's dead.
You add proficiency to damage?
Yep.
Oh.
I think it's your modifier and proficiency to damage.
For this it is, yeah.
Then I should have dealt more damage, but the other rat died anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, the rats, guys. It's just a rat. Alright, Merrick, you've taken your action and you've moved. I think you have another action, don't you?
He had to attack.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just extra attack. I don't get an extra action.
True. But you can make another attack on one of the other rats next to Doc.
Yes. This instead uses your bonus action, I'm pretty sure, doesn't it? In D&D combat, you get a few things you can do every turn. Action, movement, and bonus action. Fighter's unique that it gets extra actions.
You can also do free actions, but that's anytime.
Yeah, it's different. Also, doesn't a reaction take up your bonus action?
Yep.
It does, so he does not have a bonus.
Also, if he used his bonus action on his turn, he won't be able to use a reaction on the enemy's next turn.
Yep.
Either way, yes, you may attack again.
Okay, I take a shot at another rat.
Roll to hit. Disadvantage.
Tog.
I highly suggest you switch to melee.
All right, I'll switch to melee.
All right.
But you don't have a dex bonus. That almost certainly means you have a strength bonus. Like, I didn't take a close look at your character sheet, but I'd be surprised if you have no dex or strength bonus as a fighter.
Unless the somebody that made it for him was a dick.
No, his primary stat is intelligence. He's a caster.
You have a strength bonus. That is a +1. You should be using melee.
All right, yeah, I already said I switch to melee and take a swing at another rat.
Roll the hit.
Yeah.
And I rolled a 13 to hit.
Hits. Roll your damage.
All right, 2d6. 7, and with this modifier, I think that makes it 10.
Mm-hmm. And it's slashing damage. Dead rat. Todd, your turn. There's the rat left.
Wait, it's still. Oh.
I swing at the rat that... Like, there's still a rat biting me, right?
Yep, it's the only rat that's left.
Well, I critted it back, so fuck it.
Well, since it's the end of combat, how do you do this?
I don't know, I guess I just chop it off at the head.
Just looks down, pulls out a knife, cuts off head, walks away.
Well, no, I mean, like, I still have my sword. Like, I either stab it through the neck, severing it, or just slash at it and decapitate it that way. Your choice which. Doesn't really matter to me.
Looking down at this feeble creature biting your leg, despite the fact that it hurt, you shank it through the neck.
Yeah.
It falls limp. You guys did it. And for each of you, you get 25 EXP added to the total.
Okay. So that is it. Get it. So we should all have what? 65, 25?
Yep.
Okay.
65-25.
You can level up independently.
I am aware. But considering we literally just started and you hadn't awarded experience until now, that 25 is the only thing that should be added to the base total for 5th level.
Yep.
Hence my verifying we were all on the same number.
Thankfully, now that the rats have been dealt with, you're just left with this corpse in the middle of the field.
Is the one that got away dead?
Yep.
Okay. Well, the one that started running, I should say.
I feel like I didn't even have a turn.
Nope. Blame reactions.
May I, how's it doing? Right. So that damage is not really worth it.
I want to go and check on the rats. I want to see what the peculiar physical nature they have are.
Alright. You approach and you take a good look at the rat. Give me a nature check.
While she's doing that, I do medicine at the dead body.
Alright.
17.
Alright, and a medicine check.
Wrong tab. 25.
All right. So first, outside the noticeable spikes along the rat's spine, you can see that certain aspects of them are bloated. One of them that you're looking at seems to have an extended arm, almost as if it's growing a human arm instead of a rat arm. The tail seems to have molted multiple times recently and has different layers of skin on it, and it's kind of scabby looking. And the teeth are all growing rather than just the front teeth. This doesn't look like a rat, despite the very ratty features. And as for the body, he was definitely killed by the rats. And some form of poisoning.
Ah,
I think I'm going to grab a sack that I picked up from before and start to harvest the teeth of these rats.
Make a dexterity check.
Oh boy, my favorite. Is this saving throw or just dex?
Saving throw.
Mwah. 18.
Alright. As you're pulling teeth, the body spazzes a little bit, and one of the jaws snaps back at your hand. Thankfully, it doesn't sink into your flesh. But getting a nice good look at it, you can notice the sparkly green particulates upon it.
Similar to that ore that we were told to get.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to do now is start severing the jaws from these creatures, because I don't want every single time I get a tooth for a, sudden latching of their teeth against my hand.
Probably a good idea.
what?
I'm just gonna take all their teeth.
How about you, Merrick? Is there anything you would like to do?
I'm thinking.
This could take a while, folks.
Not sure what kind of check to make here.
Well, you don't need to make a check unless, you want to do something specific. You're welcome to investigate the area around. You could go through the corpse and see if there's perhaps some kind of loot. You could harvest from the rats.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, I'll
Alright.
So,
I'll see if there's any. I guess I'll see if there's anything on or near the body that might have told us what he was doing here or who he was.
Okay. Roll an investigation check. And I'm going to give you advantage on it.
It's a D20, right?
Yep. Advantage allows you to roll twice and take the highest.
Uh, 13, and with my intelligence, it's 16.
All right. So, using some of your previous battle experience as a sellsword, looking about the area, you can see that the wheat's been matted down. Looking at the way the foot tracks are in the mud, it almost looks as if he came out into the field and dropped to his knees. The rats, however, don't seem to have footprints coming in, almost as if they just appeared.
Could he have been praying?
Dahak blinks at that, ponders it, and starts rummaging through the man's stuff. Considering he was a doomsayer, he might have religious iconography.
All right. Investigation check.
Okay. That's just a flat roll for me, so that's a 9.
All right. I didn't think I was going to be looking this up today, but please give me a second. You find a shred of paper in the pocket, and it has a few things scribbled upon it.
In what language?
Common.
Oh,
But
yeah.
interestingly, there's a few words that you can't make out in between it. They
I'll
have
read whatever I can make out. What does it say?
once there was something city. Peace, harmony. The clawing, the gnawing, the biting, the scratching. All hours did not cease. Hear it toll, hear them crawl. One by one, we all...
And it looks like he didn't get to finish his note.
Nope.
What kind of a roll would it be to figure out if the rats burst from his person?
Medical.
Medicine.
You would have found that with your medicine check.
Okay, so the rats did not. The rats were the cause of it externally, not internally.
Correct.
All right.
It's like they just appeared from thin air.
Correct.
That's very suspicious.
What I find. Oh, right. Still has that on. What I find more troubling is the fact that they seem to have the same dust we are leaving to acquire. All about them.
The quality of the ore, yeah. This, like, green, spore-like particle on their teeth. Hmm. So how many of these rats have I harvested the teeth from?
Or you have about
4?
30 teeth. That didn't immediately shatter into powder upon pulling. These teeth seem very brittle and
30,
frail.
right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get these identified at an herbalist or some kind of alchemical station when we get back to town.
I imagine alchemy will be better.
Alchemists use ingredients like this on the daily, but because of something so peculiar, maybe they could have some insight as to why these rats look like this. You know what? I feel like I should take one of these corpses with me.
Yes, I was about to say it would do to take at least one for examination.
I will note that since you started this combat and you've now harvested your parts and looked around a little bit, Tarragon didn't follow you into the field. Though you can see him sitting on the road, watching.
Where is he looking?
Toward you guys.
I get up, tie the sack of teeth tight, and head towards Tarragon.
You start walking toward Tarragon. Make a dex save.
11.
You take a hard step forward in this slightly mucky ground, and you feel your foot suddenly drop more than a foot. It seems like you step into some kind of hole. You're able to pull your foot out, and taking a look at it, it's not a hole, it's a tunnel. About a foot in diameter.
Probably the perfect size for one of these rats, huh?
Probably.
Yeah, I had let the entire party know that, to watch their footing. There's burrows around.
As you flick your head back in the direction of your walking, you see one fly down the tube. Blazing speeds.
We should probably get off out of the wheat fields.
Agreed.
You make your way back to the road. And as you look around, it's just as peaceful as when you set out. The sun's light shining down on the golden fields of wheat, swaying in the wind.
This feels like something that we need to report.
Oh, I was intending on taking the body back with us.
Did anybody grab one before we left? I have the teeth, but...
No. It means the guy's body.
I grabbed one of the rats.
All right.
But here's the real question now. Do we go back to town because it's just there and report this, or do we keep going to do our quest?
I will make just a simple note upon your choice. Time is everything.
Because this is starting to feel like bigger than we think it is.
Oh, I'm definitely getting cult vibes, yes.
With how time sensitive that quest that we are on is, we would be heading back to the town regardless of what choice that we take. But does this prioritize, over the one that we were given while we were in town?
That's a good question. What is the time frame? Because if the time frame on bringing the prisoner in isn't that high, the Hawk would be far more interested in retrieving the man's body and taking it back to town.
Now, obviously, you could tell by the guild master's, comments that this needs to be done as soon as possible. He did not stress an immediate concern. That being said, Leah seemed pretty concerned about the ore. But this is a immediate and pressing danger to the town. Like, you're only 4 hours outside of town. You've barely left the city. You can still see it behind you.
Okay, yeah, no, never mind. Forgot. Okay, so, when the Hawk leaves the field, he picks up the body and starts walking back to town.
I follow him.
As you pick up the body,
So
the lower half of that torso kind of falls out and goes into one of those tunnels.
Ugh.
That is problematic.
Just the guts, like they just kind of.
Oh.
Gross.
So yeah, you guys are gonna head back to town. I will note
Yep.
that by the time you get back, it's going to be closer to 3 in the afternoon, meaning that if you were to set back out by the time this is done and reported, you'd be about here at 10 o'clock at night.
I am aware that this means we lose a day. I am more concerned about this than losing a day.
Okay, I'm making sure. Like, I don't want you guys to go into town and then be like, oh, well, we'll just head right back out now and then have to camp in this spot.
Yeah, reporting this feels a lot more urgent than some guy that needs to die here. Because this feels like a security risk.
Yep.
Or like an environmental hazard, seeing as it's in the middle of, crops.
Alrighty. You guys make your way back to town. Heading back on in, the first thing you're greeted with is guards that stop you about, quarter mile from the gate as they're patrolling the sub road as everyone starts to merge in and say, whoa, what are you doing with the body? A body. Like, they seem genuinely worried, like, why do you have a corpse?
We found this man on our way to Towbarrow, I think it was.
Yep, Tobero.
On our way to Towbarrow, he was killed by some sort of rats. A lot of them. There seems to be an infestation about 4 hours out. Considering they've already killed this man, I thought it prudent to report it to the authorities.
You can set it down and we'll start filing a report. You can visibly see that this guard has a weak stomach.
Perhaps you should get a friend? I can understand how disgusting this is. Being a healer, I've seen worse.
Right. He gets like maybe 20-30 steps away and vomits.
Mm-hmm.
And then continues a light jog back to town.
Well, he's doing that. Dahak sets down the body and sort of wraps him up in whatever remains of his clothing, so he's more presentable to whoever shows up.
Alright. You set him down, get him wrapped, and as you do, his body kind of finally begins to expire and decay on its own, drying up in the sunlight on the road.
Okay.
His mouth starts to open a little bit. And inside there's a gentle green glow.
Ominous.
Inside his mouth, in the very back, there's a molar made of a green stone.
Taking precaution, I put my mask on, crouch down, and with my gloves, like I hold his mouth open and see that there's the stone matching the description of that ore that we're supposed to get.
Yes.
A part of me wants to extract it.
Dahak offers to hold his mouth open so you can do that.
What would I have to roll to extract it?
Probably some kind of dex thing.
It would be strength.
I was thinking medical.
But as you stare at it to get ready to pull it, wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
5.
You hear the loud gonging of a hollow bell as you get ready to pull this tooth.
I perk my head up and see where it's coming from.
You don't see a source of the sound, and your party members don't hear it.
Something wrong?
I kind of slowly whip my head around trying to look around and see where that sound's coming from. But as soon as I realize that I can't tell where it's coming from, I just focus back into trying to grab the molar.
Perception check.
Natural one.
Tog, perception check.
That's a 19.
As you're reaching to grab this tooth, a little distracted by the odd sound that appears to have just rang out from your head, Tog, you watch the man's eyes shift toward you two.
Oh. I stop her, and, what is it to identify undead?
Religion check, I think, or
Yeah, I'd say religion.
Okay. So yeah, that's just this plus 3. 14.
Yeah, you get some undead reading off of this. As you pull her hand back, you notice the front two teeth start to drag themselves down. And the nose begins to shift outward a little bit.
I decapitate him.
Immediately, the body stops. His head rolls limp and goes back to the position that it was just in.
were the guards here to witness this?
Nope, they went off to go get help.
So they left us here at the front gate?
I figured they
There's
would have
no
left one. That is kind of weird.
Yeah, there should be at least somebody here in the vicinity that witnessed this.
Yeah, I'm just kind of standing there, and I've gone a little pale. Like, what in the world?
The guard comes back with a few other guards. I got some help. The more efficient guard, well-dressed guard comes forward, looks over the group. May, you immediately recognize him as Captain, just because you have a familiarity with the town guard. He kind of looks at the group and looks at the body, and he asks where you found it.
Well, it was about 4 hours that way. Points the direction we came. May can give you far better specifics than I. More problematic. The dead body became not dead while you were summoned, hence why I decapitated it.
He stares at it. Undead, he questionably says.
There's a green glowing thing in the back of that former man's mouth.
We'll investigate this. He...
Be careful, as we started doing that, he started turning into some sort of undead monstrosity.
Carefully, he notes to his guards, as they come over to bag the body in what appears to be a large leather sack. You said it was a 4-mile trip out? That's about the middle of the fields.
That's exactly where we found him. And around where his corpse was found, there were multiple burrows inside the field.
Yes. With rats in similar condition to his body.
I look over to the other companion, our mercenary friend here, whose name escapes me for a second. 1 second.
Zephyr.
Zephyr, yeah. I look to him knowingly and say that we have one of the creatures in our possession.
He extends his hand forward.
Yes, it's right. Yes, it's right here. I show them the rat's body.
Oh, and that reminds me. fishes around on his person, finding the note and handing it to the captain. That was on the dead man's person.
Thank you. You've all done a wonderful service today. You were the Adventurers Guild.
Not.
Hack nods.
Good. I will send a formal report excusing any lateness in your delivery.
Appreciated, sir.
Likewise. Be safe.
Nods. And you.
I don't want to get too off topic, but Tog, do you have work?
I have work, so in about 5 minutes I need to leave for that. Now seems like a good pausing point.
All right.
I would like to continue to further investigate and do some small things here and there. Like,
Yeah,
I
that
do
sounds
have
fine.
the teeth. I wanted to go to the alchemist, and then I wanted to roll an insight on the guard captain because he seems a little bit off.
Well, there's no reason you can't roll an insight on him right now.
Yeah,
So I
Go ahead.
imagine he seems off because this is really fucking weird.
yeah. 18.
He does have general concern about him, but you also kind of get this feeling from him like this isn't the first one.
I was getting that. Yeah, his tonal
Oh.
shift kind of gave me this like vibe that he's not telling us the full story. Hmm. Oh, what time of day is this?
By now, it's, 3-ish in the afternoon.
Yeah. Considering it took us 4 hours to get there, it was about 11, so it would be about 3 now.
A part of me wants to try and head to any kind of like either herbalist or alchemist shop.
You may. I won't stop you.
All right. All right.
That being said, I will hold that until next time, so please make a note.
Oh.
Speaking of notes, I was looking at Merrick's character. I notice his stats are significantly worse than mine, and I don't think that's because he only gets the +1, whereas I get a +1 and a +2. Like, he's got 12, 10, 13, 16, 8, 14.
Mm-hmm.
My stats are 16, 13, 14, 10, 18, 12.
Mine are 12, 17, 14, 8, 15, 12.
Yeah, I think I might have given myself too many points.
Total 69 points. If it's too high, then you'll know. That doesn't count your level up.
Oh, okay. So removing the level up. Do I have to remove anything else?
Because
no, the
you
other
might
things-
also want to take in the note that for their level up, they might have had feats instead of points.
Yeah.
Outside that, though, how are you guys feeling?
I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Like,
Pretty
just
good.
getting out of town was more to it
Pretty
than.
good.
Okay, yes. I did give myself too many points because if it's just total before I added the 2 for 4th level, I'm at 81, so I have too many.
It's a little high.
Yeah. Because you're talking about just 16 plus 13 plus 14 and so on, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, whatever. I'm just
we can fix that.
numbers. Yeah, no, it's not hard. I just noticed it and thought I should point that out because something seemed very off. Alright, so I'm 12 points over. Fun.
All right, I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna dip out of this. My mom needs me to run to the store.
No problem.
How dare.
Yay.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Problem, see ya.
So, chat, I hope you enjoyed this first little session. This will only be a Wednesday, and it'll be a little earlier of a stream, but hopefully moving forward we can get more into the plot and more comfortable with interactions. Slow start, but that's why it was a 0.5 episode.
Yep.
Besides that, I had fun. I miss doing DMing. Seeing that I am basically a forever DM. Here in my hand, I bear the dice of challenge. My white one judges you and my black ones kill you. Make your choice. By the way, the white ones that rolled the crit. For herbalist to look at teeth. How about you, Lil? Did you enjoy the mix-up?
I'm surprised that the rats came in this early.
The rats were already in the story the last time.
I know, but we caught glimpses of them this early, this time around.
You sent your weasel into the field.
If you do different things happen. And that's my cue to leave. Bye.
Have a good one, Todd.
I'll, unless you guys aren't on here in like 45 minutes to an hour, I'll be back.
Oh, I'll probably go to bed shortly. I might chill around
Good.
for a little bit just to chitty chat, but I have a lot of brainstorming that needs to get done.
Yeah. Bye.
B.
It was a good session. You guys have a good night.
You too, and I hope chat has an amazing Thursday. I don't know when stream will start. It should be Monster Hunter World. Keep an eye on the Discord for that. Have a good night, everybody. May all your naturals be 20s.